Alone instills a sense of isolation in its viewers, and the psychological thriller needed similarly isolating filming locations to achieve that effect. Alone follows the recently widowed Jessica, Jules Wilcox, as she flees from her captor, Sam, Mark Menchaca. By the ending of Alone, Jess and Sam had descended deep into the forest and far away from civilization, which helped give the audience a feeling of isolation. Alone's ability to make its viewers feel what the characters felt could make it one of the best psychological thriller movies on Netflix. Alone is a remake of the 2011 Swedish movie Gone, and as such it had to make some changes to the original film. One of those changes was in Alone's cast of characters, as the actors were recast with American actors. Those changes were obviously successful, as Alone pulled in over $640,000 at the worldwide box office, via Box Office Mojo. Part of the reason for Alone's success was its setting in the scenic Pacific Northwest, and the decision to film in genuine locations. Portland, Oregon. Jess moved from Portland after her husband's death. Many of the scenes filmed in Alone were shot in or immediately surrounding Portland, Oregon. Those scenes include the opening shots of Jess driving her trailer out of town, the videos of her and her husband, and several of the scenes on the road. Those scenes also included a few Portland landmarks, like the St. John's Bridge. Because of the climate in Portland, the cast and crew of Alone often had to film in inclement weather and difficult conditions. In a behind-the-scenes clip shared by Midwinter Film, director John Hyams described the conditions as challenging but exciting. Jules Wilcox also said that the conditions in Oregon helped her with her performance, saying, "It takes the demands off your acting, because you're in it." The conditions Alone was filmed in certainly helped demonstrate that nature was yet another of Jessica's enemies in her fight for survival. Mount Hood National Forest, Oregon. Location of several forest scenes. Sam, Mark Menchaca, speaks to Hunter Robb, Anthony Heald, in Alone 1. After Sam kidnapped Jess, he brought her deep into the forests of Oregon to make sure she couldn't find help and escape. For these scenes, Alone was shot in Mount Hood National Forest, just a few miles outside of Portland. With over 1 million acres of wilderness, Mount Hood National Forest provided the movie with the remote locations that added to the sense of danger Jess was feeling after being captured. The beautiful forest also contrasted with the horrible things Sam was doing, and the dissonance between the two made for an unsettling experience. Estacada, Oregon. Location of Jessica's stops on the road. Jess pulls away from a gas station in Alone. Some of the shorter scenes at the beginning of Alone were filmed in a small town between Portland and Mount Hood called Estacada, Oregon. The town was used for a number of short moments in the movie, including the gas station Jess stopped at in the beginning montage of her move. While the town was mostly featured in small establishing shots, Estacada acted as a visual storytelling device to let the audience know that Jess was becoming more and more isolated the further away from Portland she got. Estacada served its purpose well and helped the audience share in Jessica's feelings of being increasingly on her own. Alone is a memorable addition to the psychological thriller genre, and its setting is just one of the things that sets it apart. While there is very little that is inherently frightening about the Oregon wilderness, Alone manages to make the pine forests into a dominating force in the movie. They also perfectly contradict the compact scale of the movie, as the story's small cast fights their way through the grand, sprawling woods. The filming locations in Alone were expertly used, and they helped sell the movie as a whole.